Good morning everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa. I am obsessed with makeup and diaper bags and anything related to momming. So if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. But today I wanted to go in and do a full face of makeup with you. I have nowhere to go, but that's okay because the funnest part is playing with makeup or packing a bag or whatever we do. So since we are approaching spring and summer, I wanted to remind you to always wear your sunscreen. And the Supergoop sunscreen is so good, but it is also really pricey. So I wanted to kind of feature this product. I have been using it under my makeup for probably about a month now, and it works very well. Highly recommend it. Give it a try if you're looking for a good sunscreen for under your foundation. So this is what I'm going to start with, and it actually works decently as a primer too. It soaks into the skin very nicely. It moisturizes. It doesn't leave you feeling dry, and I really like it. It does have a slight scent, but it's not offensive. I'm very sensitive to strong fragrance in especially beauty products, and this one does not bother me whatsoever. So now that we are sunscreened, I am going to go and I am going to apply a light misting of setting powder. Again, because we are approaching summer, that means that sweat happens, and I am a person who sweats. I live on the East Coast and it gets soupy. It's soupy and humid and sticky, and you feel like you're in a soup pot when you walk outside. So these are the steps that I take to keep my makeup looking good throughout the day, even on those hot summer days. Also, it's funny that I'm filming this today because it is currently 25 degrees outside and it's almost April. Welcome to the East Coast. So this is my blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just going to mist that right onto my bristles, and I'm going to go through and apply this especially to those areas where I sweat, which for me is my nose, under, on my cupid's bow, and my chin. Get another spray. Also, this is my favorite setting spray ever. I've talked about this in other videos. This is the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and can we just talk about how awesome that mister is? It's really, really good. However, if you have another setting spray you love, but the mister isn't great, there are bottles in the Target dollar spot right now. You get a 2-pack of these glass bottles. This just has rubbing alcohol in it, but the spray on these are really good too. Check this out. Nice and fine. So if you have a setting spray that works really well for you, but the mister is not so great, try that. Go grab a few of them. They're so good, and they're adorable, adorable bottles. Okay, so I've used my setting spray. Now I'm going to go and I'm actually going to use a tiny bit of powder under my makeup. Okay, so I'm going to use the fluffy side, the bronzer side of my blush and bronzer brush. I'm just going to dip in to my powder, tapping off the excess, and I'm going to stamp this lightly over my face before I do my makeup. The goal here is just to provide that barrier. And this is also if you have oily skin, so that sweat and oil cannot break through your makeup. I am going to be using the detail brush. It is my favorite brush to contour with. My contour color is Astoria, although I do sometimes use olive too. And I'm going to start right at the top of my ear and cut that line down my cheekbone. You see the difference? Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Starting with my brightening highlight, which for me is Aura. I'm going to go under my eyes just a little bit. I am in my 30s, so for me, I do have fine lines under here. I do want to use as little product as possible. If you use this makeup or any cream-based concealer and you are having problems with it settling into your fine lines, you're probably using too much product. If you're dealing with something like dark circles or discoloration under your eyes, reach out to your artist, reach out to me, and we can talk about how we can color correct those areas and keep as little product as necessary under your eyes so you're not getting the creasing and the cakiness that no one wants to see. I'm going to do the center of my forehead, down my nose, cupid's bow, chin, and laugh lines as usual. Alright, then I'm going to go into my main shade here, which for me is Amber. And I'm just lightly applying that over the rest of my face. The number one mistake people make when they first get their makeup is they put too much on. They're used to doing 1 or 2 pumps of liquid foundation and covering their whole face. Less is more. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I have redness, severe redness that pokes through almost any foundation, and I get all the coverage I need just with this application. And then if I need extra coverage, just like I said with the dark circles, I will go in and color correct those areas versus applying more product. Doing it this way will make sure that my skin still looks like my skin even though my makeup is done. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side of my 3D brush and blend this out. I'm going to use circular motions and gently blend the lighter areas first and bringing up that lighter color onto my eye to serve as an eye primer and to cancel out any veins or discoloration. I'm going to go in and blend my contour, blending upwards, softening any harsh edges, blending my contour up into my hair. Alright, next I am going to bronze, and for bronzer I use Bella. Next I am moving into blush. For blush today, I am going to be using this peachy color right here. It's called Saint Tropez, and it is beautiful. Have you ever seen the movie Made in Manhattan? And J-Lo goes to the event in that beautiful formal gown, and she has just the beautiful peachy blush that's just glowing. That's what this reminds me of. It is so pretty. If you are a fan of that look, you have to try this blush. It is so good. So I'm going in with my blush brush and just stamping that onto my cheeks. Isn't that so pretty? It is my absolute favorite blush right now for spring and summer. Come on, it's good, right? Alright, now I'm going to contour my nose. Just going right down the sides here. I don't do this when I do the rest of my contour, mainly because I tend to overblend it by accident if I do it that way. Just like that. And blend, blend, blend. And then I am going to go in with this shade right here. This is actually from the Demi line. The shade is 01. And with a very fine brush, I'm going to use this just to add some extra brightness down the center of my nose. I'm just going right down the center. See how bright that is? It's so pretty. I'm going to skip a part and then do the tip of my nose. So pretty. And then I'm just going to use my finger to tap that into my skin. I'm also going to do the same shade under my brows after I do my brows. So let's do those next. Let me take that same shade that we just used to brighten on the nose, and I'm going to tuck that right under the arch of my brow. You see that? So pretty. Alright, so we are nice and zoomed in. For my eyes today, I am not going to use Seint eyeshadow. I am going to use this palette by Makeup Revolution. This is the Iconic 3.0 palette, and the colors are beautiful. Look at how pretty those colors are. And they blend beautifully, they wear beautifully. So, in my crease, I am going in with this shade right here. And it looks like they don't have names, they just have numbers. Using the fluffy side of my eyeshadow brush, I'm going to go into that shade, tap off any excess, and then just go into my crease. And because I have a slightly hooded eye, I always make sure to have my eye open when I'm blending into my crease, because I'm going slightly above my crease so that you can actually see the shade. Pretty, right? Alright, next I am going to deepen the outer corner, and to do that I am going to use this shade right here. So this would be shade number 12. And I'm going to use the smaller side of my brush, go into that color, tap off the excess, and I'm going to draw out to the furthermost corner of my eye, and then draw in. Just like that. I do the same thing on both sides. And then because I don't want to get any fallout or anything, I'm going to, when blending, blend inward. And this is my tip to you for any of those darker colors. Just blend inward towards the center of your lid. And you get that nice corner, and you'll experience less color where you don't want it. Alright, moving on, in the center of my lid, I am going to use my finger. So going into my finger, not into my finger, into the palette. Just going to stamp that on the center of my lid. Very pretty. I love this palette. Eyeshadows are one of my favorite things to play with. Okay, and then on the inner corner, I am going to use this shade right here. So this will be shade 3, and I'm going to use a different finger and just tuck that right in here to create that ombre effect. Alrighty, now I'm going to take a teeny tiny brush into this white pearlescent shade here. This is shade 1, and I'm going to use a clean brush and bring that into my inner corner and a little bit on my lower lash line. And then on the rest of the lower lash line, I'm going back into this brush with the smaller end, going into my crease transition shade, and I'm just going to smoke out that lower lash line a little bit. I love it. I love this palette. It's so good, and it's from the drugstore. So affordable. I feel like every shade is very pretty and would work with most eye colors. Total win. Makeup revolution. Alright, I am going to line my upper waterline. I have been using the CoverGirl Perfect Point liners forever. Like, since middle school, forever. And I still love them and wear them to this day. And then I am going to go in with some mascara. For mascara today, I'm going to be using the Lash Paradise mascaras. L'Oreal makes some of the best mascaras at the drugstore. Like, don't you agree? I tend to favor, I have tried so many high-end mascaras, and all of my favorites come from the drugstore. I just feel like, why spend all that extra money on a name brand mascara when the drugstore just gets it done? So I'm going in with the primer first, and I only use the primer on my upper lashes. And then I do want to show you that this layers really well. If you are not a fan of false lashes, but you want kind of that look of false lashes, it layers really well with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. So let me just, why not, right? More is more. And I'll just kind of take it to the next level. Isn't that ridiculous? It's so good. I have like no eyelashes. Now I feel fancy. Now I gotta go somewhere today. Show off my lashes. Alright, eyes are done. What do we think? I feel like this is just perfect for spring. Can you tell I'm trying to just like will the warmth to the northeast? We had like weeks of beautiful weather and now it's freezing again. All right, let's do some lips. And first I am going to condition my lips because they are dry. So this is just my lip conditioner from Seint. I really like it. So I'm just using a flat tip brush. This is called the MAP Multitasker brush. And I am going to go into, I think I'm actually going to combine these two shades right here. So I'm going to do the darker shade on the outer portion. And then I'm going to top it with a gloss. And then going into the lighter shade. So you can see this kind of washes me out, and I knew it was going to do that, but I'm going to top it with one of these lifter glosses by Maybelline. So I'm going to use this one on the top, and I think it's going to be really pretty. This is the shade Moon. I like it. It goes nicely with the peachy blush. The lifter glosses are so good. If you haven't tried those are at the drugstore too, and they get it done right. All right, finally I am going to highlight, and to highlight I just have a fan brush here from Real Techniques. So pretty. I feel glowy. So I wanted to show you. You can see my skin. I put that powder under my makeup. There's no crunchiness or bunchiness. Everything still applied beautifully. And then I'm going to go in with that CoverGirl powder again and set everything. So going back into that fluffy brush, just going to do a light dusting. And again, no cakiness. So that's it. That's the completed look. I love how everything turned out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you are interested in Seint Makeup, head to my website. I'd be happy to color match you and help you pick your palette, or you can shop Seint through me off of my website there as well. Thank you again for watching. I hope you subscribe and stick around, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!